All right, guys. So we're gonna start this out or old fashioned. We're gonna wipe the charts completely. And this I did one breakdown for you guys just to kind of show you what it's gonna look like. So this is how we're gonna start laying out all of our trades for the week. So you guys are well aware of what's going on. So this is Euro CHF, and I'll just run it down really quick for you. As you can tell, I already went over it. So weekly is bearish, higher high, higher low, shift to structure, higher low, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower low. My bad. So we're waiting. We're gonna take this to the downside again. Weekly is bearish. You go to the daily. Daily is also bearish. Yeah, I don't know why I did that to my chart. Daily is also bearish. And we're gonna find all new levels. I deleted all the levels off my chart and recharted all this. So here's your higher high, here's your higher low, here's your shift, here's your higher high, higher low, here's your shift. Now we're waiting on the retest for daily is bearish. 4 hour is also bearish. Next step is EMA rejection. We have a daily rejection of our EMA. We have a 4 hour rejection off of our EMA here as well. And then rejection from previous structure point. Here's your previous structure point. How do you find it? Here's your low, here's your high, here's your low, here's your high, here's the thing. Boom, boom. We got a rejection. As you see it rejected from here, higher high, higher low. Let me zoom in a little bit better here. Here's your high, here's your low. Take it. First corner, second corner, rejection, rejection off the high on the daily, on the 4 hour. Here's your higher high. Here's your higher high or higher, your lower low and your higher high. So, boom, first corner, second corner. Here's your second corner, first corner. And here's your start. Here's your first corner. Here's your second corner. So remember, you go up, first corner, second corner. Here's your rejection. As you can see, it rejected from previous structure point already. And now we're waiting for the retest to go short. Next step is on our as round psychological level. We have a round psychological level here with the rejection. And then on we have a daily head and shoulders, as you can tell right here. And a break and a retest for this to go short. So that's what we are waiting for on this pair is our entry signal. This is 100% grade trade. And this is going to be our first trade of the week. So this is Euro CHF. This is our top pair. This is the only pair we've already gone over. Next pair is AUD NZD. And as you can tell, I started this one and didn't get very far. So I wanted to do it all with you guys. Weekly is bullish, daily is bullish, and 4 hour is bearish. Okay. What is our next step in our as we look for EMAs? So on the daily, so we're only going to be looking at our weekly and our daily to kind of set us up. We are at a daily area of interest, rejecting from a weekly area of interest here. I'm personally not a huge fan of this one. Already just kind of sitting where it's sitting. Um, let's get our little cheat sheet back over here for you guys. We have no daily EMA rejection. And down to our 4 hour, we have a 4 hour EMA touch. But like I said, if you look here, we're looking for buys. We are below the 4 hour. We're bearish. In order for me to be interested in buys, that 4 hour is gonna have to go bullish. It's gonna have to we're literally before I'm even interested in doing more into this trade, I want to see a shift to structure for this to be bullish, and then I'll be looking and I want it to be above our daily area of interest. So this one, in reality, this one's a useless trade. We're just kind of waiting. Euro AUD. Let's see here. Let's start it all over from the beginning. See how my charts are completely wiped away for you guys here. So now we start over. All right. Here's your higher high. Here's your higher low. And we're on the weekly chart. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, you take your thing, you take your box, let's spread it this way, spread it this way, and we look for structure. Is there any structure here? I mean, if you wanted, you could count this, maybe even make it a little bit bigger. How many pips is this? That's 82 pips. You don't want that. So we'll keep her small. Remember, we're on a weekly chart, so our weekly colors are blue. And then if we go back again, higher high, and see if we can find another level here. Is there a level here? No. No. Is there a level here? No. What about here? One, two, one, two. We could probably sneak this into here. But as you can see, prices already broke and rejected this area. So we're waiting for a pullback into our daily or weekly EMA. EMA, as you can tell, we don't need to go any higher because price is not this high anymore. And there's a level here that we can fence off as well. So that's just our weekly charts. So like I said, we were waiting. We're already, you can tell we're waiting for a pullback to go short on but the weekly is bullish. And then let's go to the daily. Daily is bullish as well. Just barely. 4 hour is bearish. So let's write that down here. We got weekly bullish, 4 hour bullish, or weekly bullish, daily bullish, 4 hour bearish. Weekly bull, daily bull, 4 hour bear, which equals a 20%. What's our next step? We look for EMAs on the trend. And as you can tell already, we can already just on the daily, we can see the head and shoulders there. We want to see this go. We want to see the daily shift bearish if we're going to take sells on this. Otherwise, the trend is buys. And we don't really need to go any farther because on this one, the trade is in the middle between two areas. If we want to go down to our daily here, higher high, higher low. If you want to find a daily zone, just do the same thing. Do you want to count that bottom one as a daily zone, this one, or do you want to go to these top ones here? There's already 3 hits in there and tug that in. Make this purple because our daily zones are purple. As you can see, it looks good for sells. And in order for us to even be interested in this trade is we want to see it break below and hit retest our weekly for sells. If you wanted to, you can take a high risk 4 hour trade right here and come in, do one of these here. Wonder why my colors got changed again. And do one of these, but it just doesn't seem right. You know, we're just not interested until this trade breaks below our weekly area of interest. Then we'll be interested in this trade. For now, it's no good. We want nothing to do with her. Yeah, my colors got changed. Next one is GBP CAD. All right, now let's start this one all over. All right, let's delete all these bot lines here. And all these lines that don't matter. All right, weekly is bearish. How do you know? Well, I already don't like this because it has been. We don't even need to do this because literally this has been consolidating for 8 weeks, and I'm not ready to play with it for 9 weeks for the ninth week. No point even getting into this. All right, weekly. Let's go to NZD USD. Weekly is bearish. Higher high, higher low. As you can see here, higher high, higher low, break, shift, and sell. This was beginning of October. We called this to you guys. So weekly is bearish. I like that we're, oh, you know what we forgot to do here? Sorry, guys. We got to start all over again. Weekly is bearish. Daily is bullish. And 4 hour is currently bullish. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, let's get our daily or weekly zones so we kind of know what we're working with here. Weekly zones. 1, 2, 3. That's a fairly good weekly zone. I mean, let's get the right color, blue. Another one. No. One. No. One. That's too small. We could do something like right there. Do something like that as a weekly zone. And we don't need anything other than that because price is way down here. We're looking for where price would come up and reject and sell again, or if price is going to come up and reject and sell. So that's kind of what we're looking for. We said our weekly is bearish and our daily is bullish, and our 4 hour is also bullish. Okay, so let's get this written down for you guys so we don't forget. All right. One, weekly bullish, bullish, or bearish, I mean. Daily bull, 4 hour bull, resulting in a 20% trade. We're looking for buys already, just looking at this, get our little cheat sheet. So now that the weekly is off of not a trend, it's not part of the trend, we are looking for buys on the daily and the 4 hour into the weekly zone. Well, if you want to know the truth, I want nothing to do with buys unless it is going to break and come up to here and sell. Or it's gonna, like I said, or it's just gonna retest here and then sell. Just already looking at the weekly zones. Is there any strong zones in here for the daily chart? Higher high, higher low. I don't like that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's a zone right here. We'll mark it off. This. this way. Like that. Get purple because it's a daily chart. So as you can see, why would you want to play this? Like this is just there's too much going on in here. And what I want to see is I wanted to push all the way up here and then retest this E4 hour EMA and send us to the next date weekly zone. Or I want it to break, right? I want it to break like here, make a 4 hour bearish, and then retest and then sell. But these sells over here don't make sense because what we'd only be chasing. I guess we could chase that. So we would be looking at, say we got in here, stop loss to there. My stop loss way too big. 1 to 2, 1 to 3, but they said that's not something I want. I want to wait. I want to wait for the big sell back up here to retest up here, retest this zone. That's what I'm waiting for. So this one is no good. NZD CAD. Start all over again. All right. So that's from a long time ago. So currently we are bearish. How are we bearish? Here's your higher high. Here's your higher low. Here's your shift of structure, head and shoulders. You can see. So weekly is bearish. Daily is bullish because of that pump. 4 hour is bearish, bullish. Higher high, higher low. 4 hour is bullish. Let's see here. Start on the weekly. Let's get our zones up. I know you're not supposed to do it because that's not part of the trend, but I like to know where my weekly zones are just in case. So let's go. You can obviously see that neckline right there, the head and shoulders. And we can sneak that zone in right there on the weekly chart. And then is there another one in there? And I like this one too. We can sneak that in just like so. So those are two weekly zones. And he said we're waiting for the pullback, which has already happened here, as you can see on Thursday. Thursday already pushed it and dumped it. So I wouldn't be interested in this trade anyways, just because there is no play here. So this was Thursday. This is on Tuesday of last week or 2 weeks ago, right? This is 2 weeks ago that we sent into the Telegram before our Discord. That was a beautiful trade there. And quite frankly, I don't think this trade's worth it as it's already gone. It's already broke, retested once, retested twice, and retested the third time. And now we're getting an inverted head and shoulders pattern. So I want nothing to do with this. Euro GBP. All right, same thing. Let's get rid of all these lines here. Start all over. Oops. You don't need them all. Start on the weekly chart. Let's get our see where we're at in the market. Weekly is bearish. Daily is bearish. Yeah, daily is currently bearish. And 4 hour is bearish. I don't I like this trade, but at the same time, Look how low we are. Like last time we were this low was in 2020. So we have no market structures, no nothing to chase, nothing to play. It's already at its lowest point that it's been at since 2020. So we're just gonna have to not pay attention to this one. This one sucks. USD CHF, wipe it all up. All right. Now we got that cleaned up. Let's start over. Weekly is bullish. Higher high, higher low, lower low. Well, higher low, lower low. Shift to structure. Weekly is now bullish. Daily is also bullish, and 4 hour is also bullish. Okay, we can work with this one. We can work with this one pretty well. So we're going to start from the beginning. Higher high, higher low. Grab our box. And then we're gonna do our find our zones. You see any zones? Nothing. I guess there could be a zone right here. On a weekly zone, nothing else, nothing really pretty there. So let's get our box. Remember, we said all three time frames are in sync. One. Weekly is bullish. Daily is bullish. 4 hour is bullish as well, giving us a 30%. All right. Uh, Now let's go down to our daily. Let's get our areas of interest. See where those are at. Here's our higher high, our higher low. How do we find our area of interest? Well, you get your box like so, and find where you could see a rejection. Not rejection, I mean support and resistance. As you can see here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can eat if we can sneak that one in. 5, 6 touches right there. And then we gotta double check, is it too big? Nope, 23 pips. That's beautiful. So we have a rejection off our daily area of interest. So now let's go back. Let's get our cheat sheet right here. Here's our cheat sheet. Now let's start again on the week. On the weekly, what do we see? Do we have at an area of interest? No. Is it on the daily at an area of interest? No. It's not at an area of interest. Why? Because we already had the rejection last Friday. So let's say here, we can type daily rejection. Oh, didn't mean to capitalize that. Daily rejection, AUI, 10% on 3. Okay, so we have a 4 hour area of interest rejection on the 4 hour. There is no area of interest on the 4 hour. So we're not going to deal with that. Now we're looking, is it rejecting our EMA? No, it's not rejecting our EMA. We're looking for buys on this pair because we had the weekly shift. So we can't say it's touching the EMA because the EMA is not in our area of interest on our weekly. It's not in our area, it's in our weekly area of interest, or yeah, it's in our weekly area of interest on our daily chart, but it's not in our daily area of interest, so we can't count that. Is there a rejection from the EMA? Well, If you wanted to, you could count this as a rejection candle from the EMA, but I'm not gonna because this is more of a rejection candle from the area of interest. Okay, now let's go to our 4-hour. Is it rejecting our 4-hour? Well, I would say that's a 4-hour EMA rejection. Yes, it's from last week. If you want to count it, you can. If not, don't. I'm going to count it because there is our 4-hour EMA rejection. So I would, actually, I'd rather see it come back and touch and then go again. So we're not going to count, actually, we're not going to count our 4-hour EMA rejection. Okay, candles. Do we have a candlestick rejection from our area of interest? That's a candlestick rejection. That's our weekly candlestick rejection. So let's type in weekly candlestick rejection, 10%. Now let's go to our daily. Do we have a daily candlestick rejection? That's a daily candlestick rejection out of our daily area of interest. So go back to our this. Let me add in comma daily, making this 20% now. And do I have a 4-hour candlestick rejection here? No, we don't because the previous structure stick candlestick didn't have a rejection. You can count. Like I said, I would prefer to have the candlestick right next to it. Or you could say this is a rejection candle because it's close enough in my mind. So we'll even include just to add another confluence in there. We'll type 4-hour in there as well. And you remember the 4-hour is not a 10%er. It is a 5%er. Next one, 4, rejection from previous structure point. Okay, let's go back to our daily. Do we have a rejection from previous structure point? How do we find it? Well, here's your head. Here's your first turn. Here's your second turn. Do we have rejection from our previous structure point? No, we do not on our weekly. We do not on the weekly. Same thing for the daily. How do we find it? Super simple. Here's your head. Here's your first turn. Here's your second turn. And, well, I would say yes. If you don't want to count that, let's see, hold on. This is your high. First turn, second turn. My bad. Yeah, this is the right one. So, yes, we can count that. We do have a rejection from previous structure point. There. Let's get this green thing out of there. So, go back to our chart here for daily rejection from previous structure, 10%. All right, now we got to go down to our 4-hour. Right, same thing. Here's your head. 1, 2. Do we have rejection from that second corner? Well, you can zoom in a little bit better. Remember, here's your head. Here's your first turn. Here's a second turn. There is no rejection from that previous structure point on the 4-hour. So let's go to the next round psychological level. That one's pretty easy. We'll just do it on our weekly chart here. Is there a round psychological level in here? There is at the bottom, but we can't count it because we are not there. Is there one in here? We do have around psychological level right up here as well. But is that in our area of interest? No, it is not. It will be an added confluence. We already had the retest here. This was the perfect entry. I would say Friday, but we don't trade Fridays. So we want to see is this break, wick in really quick, and then take off. So there's our brand new chart. We went over our full checklist. Oh, besides patterns, let's go to our patterns again. Weekly, do you see any patterns on the weekly? I see no patterns on the daily. Do you see any patterns on the daily charts? I see no patterns besides consolidation. In the 4 hour, do you see any patterns? I see no patterns on the 4 hour. So let's go back to our chart here. Currently, this trade is currently grade. This is a 30, 40 plus 25 is what? 65, 75. This is a 75% trade. This is a C plus trade. We are still currently waiting on entry signal to give us a B plus trade. 5. So this is USD CHF. We are waiting for our entry signal. Where would my alarm be? Well, we want, like I said, we want to see a pullback, some sort of pullback, or, well, I wouldn't even know pullback. Where would we even get into this trade? Quite frankly, maybe that's what we'd want to see. Even get out there, maybe. Yeah, if we got into this trade, we want to see some sort of pullback because the take profit would be in here. So this would have to have a pullback for us to be even interested into this trade. So my alarm will be down here. And this could take a couple days to get to it. USD CHF. All right. UJ is next. Same thing. We'll start all over. Let's wipe it completely clean. Get rid of all these lines. And start from scratch. All right. So UJ is currently. I like UJ. UJ is bullish on the weekly. On the daily is bullish. And on the 4 hour, higher high, higher low, we are bullish. So let's do our thing. Find our weekly zones. Higher high, higher low. Find our zone. 1, 2. We don't like that one. 1, 2. Let's make this a little bit bigger. We can sneak in 1, 2, 3 right there for our weekly zone. Is there another one in there? Let's see here. Is there another one? Nah. Well, if you want to count this, we can. Like so. I don't know if I like this first one though. That's huge, yeah. Even that one's huge. UJ pairs are weird. If you've been trading for a while, you know that they're very large. So let's get our box up again from the beginning. Step one. Step one. Weekly, bull, daily, bull, 4 hour, bull, which equals 30%. Next part two. Let's go to our daily time frame here and get our areas of interest. Higher high, higher low. Here's your area of interest here, like so. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4 hour. Yep, that looks good to me. All right, now let's go back to our checklist. At an area of, is it at an area of interest or rejecting an area of interest? Well, we have a weekly rejection. Rejection from area I equal 10%. We are at a daily area of interest. Rejection. Daily at daily AOI, which is 10%. All right. Are we at a 4 hour area of interest? We don't have a 4 hour area of interest. If you wanted to add one, you can. 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be just the same as the daily, so we're not going to add it. Is it touching an EMA? No rejection, no touch on the EMA on the weekly, no touch, no rejection on the daily. On the 4 hour, we are touching the EMA. 4 hour, 4 hour EMA touching, which is equal to 5%. Daily. Next one is candlestick rejection. Do we have a candlestick rejection? And we can do the rejection from previous structure point and candlestick rejection all in one. I will say we already have our weekly rejection from area of interest. We already have a weekly candlestick rejection, so we're not going to add that. We'll be adding it twice. Daily candlestick rejection. We have a candlestick rejection from this zone here. So we do have a previous candlestick rejection on the daily. 5 daily candle stick rejection, which is equal to 10%. Do we have a candle? Do we have a rejection from previous structure point? Well, let's find out. Here's your head. Here's your one. Here's your two. Do we have a rejection from this weekly area of interest? No, we do not. We have a little bit of one. So that's all on you. That's in your opinion. Do you want to add this even though it's how many pips away? It's 60 pips away. From here to here is 60 pips. Almost 70 pips. Do you want to add that? I'm not going to. 4 hour candlestick rejection. Here's your high. First turn. Second turn. Well, we're looking for buys. So do you really want to count that? No. Okay. Next step is round psychological level. Well, is there a round psychological level in here? What's the easiest way to do it? Take this line, drop it, put zeros in there, and we have a round psychological level. So 6 round psych level. You have 5%. All right. Next one is patterns. Do we have any patterns on our daily? Maybe kind of inverted head and shoulders, but it's already retested and taken off. Daily, no patterns here. 4 hour, no patterns there on the 4 hour either. So there you go. There's our trade breakdown for UJ. Pretty easy. Why can't I type here? That's weird. All right, so overall grade, we are waiting for 7, waiting for entry signal to go long. Grade is what? 30, 40, 50, 60, a 70. This is a 70% trade. This is a C trade. Okay, that makes sense. Let's get this down in here a little bit better so we can see it. Boom. So we're looking to go long on this one. And what would our take profit look be? Well, it all depends where we get in and our stop loss, but we would just go to the top of structure for a 1 to 5, it looks like. So, and I would go to 1 to 3 right there. And if that scared you, well, you can even tuck it in a little shallower and go to 1 to 2.5. So we are waiting for a 1 hour engulfing, which we already had. You want to wait for, I basically want to see it break, retest, and go. Break, retest, and go. Push, we already had the engulfing. Now we're just waiting for the retest. So I will set an alarm here. I will break and retest and go. Do we have an alarm set on this one? Yeah. Cool. GU is the next one here. Okay, let's start all over again, like we've been doing. Let's erase all these lines on our chart because it was getting a little crazy in here. It's always good to restart sometimes. All right, we are fresh and ready to rock and roll. All right, let me get a little sip here. So, GU. Well, as you can see, it is bearish. Higher high, higher low, shift to structure. Now we are bearish on the weekly. Our daily is also bearish. And our 4 hour is also is bull bearish. Bearish. Yep. So that being said, we have all our trends bearish. So let's start our checklist. Get our box ready here. Turn it blue. So we have 3 time frames in sync. Step 1, period. Weekly bear. Daily bear. And 4-hour bear. Equaling 30%. 2. Next one, we go down and get our areas of interest. All right. Higher low, lower low. Obviously, we get our zones here. Anything good? No zone, no zone. Is there anything here? Well, that's kind of a good one. Say we do one of those. Is that too big if we do that? It's 100 pips. We got to cut that in half. Well, can we slide it up and do that? Boom. I like that. Good weekly zone there, just below. Yep. I like that. Let's get this box smaller. So remember I said we are bearish, bearish, bearish. Daily, we already had a rejection off our weekly area of interest. Already just looking at it. Go down to our lower time frame on our daily chart here. Higher high, higher low, shift to structure. We are now bearish. Higher high, higher low, or higher low, lower low. Is there any areas of interest in here that matter? There's a daily area of interest there that we've already rejected. Not once, but twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5, 6 times. See how we rejected it, came back, retested, and dumped. You can already see that we're looking for it to come back into our zone and then dump. 4-hour. Yeah, it's beautiful. This one's not ready yet. As you can see, it'll probably take a day and 2 days to get there. But this is a beautiful setup. We have a head and shoulders formation here forming. We have a daily EMA. So let's get our cheat sheet, our chart going here over here so we can see it better. Let's get this going right here. All right, there we go. Where's our little cheat sheet? Cheat sheet's right here. All right, let's start with our weekly. We have a weekly rejection from area of interest. Weekly AOI rejection candle. Rejection candle. So we're gonna add that. That's 10%. Next one is our daily. Do we have a daily rejection? We have a daily candlestick rejection as well. So we comma this daily, making this 20%. We have a 4-hour. We don't have a 4-hour area of interest. So we have a little one here, but we don't look at that. Oh. Daily again. What's our cheat sheet say? Candles touching EMA. We do have a candlestick EMA. Are we touching our EMA? No. We have a rejection from our EMA, but like I said, we're looking for sells, but we need the initial retest, the pullback but it sells because we do have a double top formation here. That's later on. Daily, do we have a daily EMA rejection touch? Yes, that was on Wednesday though. That was a long time ago. If it was the Friday one, I would say yes. 4 hour. This was Friday morning, Friday night. No, I'm not gonna count it. Candlestick rejection. Well, we already have the rejections. Reaction from previous structure point, higher high, higher low. Rejection from previous structure point. Well, pretty close on the weekly. You see both wicked into this zone. So why not we add that? I like that. 3 weekly rejection from previous structure. Wow. Previous structure. Don't judge my spelling. Did not do good in spelling class, but that is okay. Weekly. Now let's go to our daily. Do we have a daily rejection from previous structure point? Well, there's a higher high. 1, 2, or 1, 2. No. 4 hour. 1, 2. Well, I'm gonna say no just because we need the pullback still. I think we're gonna, quite frankly, I want to see it. I want to see us come up into here and sell. So let's go back to our next one. Rejection for round psychological level. Is there a round psych in there? Look at that. There is a round psych right in there. Let's get this out of here. Round psychological level in there. And there is also a round psychological level in here. Like so. So, and in patterns, we do have a double top formation on our weekly. How is that a double top? Well, it's kind of ugly if you want to know the truth. So I don't know if you want to count it or not. I don't really want to count it just because that's such a huge gap. Do we have any patterns on our weekly? Uh, no. 4 hour. There's a head and shoulders, but I don't, not pretty. So right now, that's all we got for this one. So 4, we're waiting for entry signal, entry signal, grade. This trade is graded 30, 50, 60. This is a D, 60%. This is a D trade. D trades are not good, but we're waiting for sells. Oh, I should probably up that in there. Of course, it's being waiting for entry signal for sells. So how would it look? Well, if we got in here, we'd be above, and our take profit would be there for 2 to 5. Why are my colors that color? That's weird. There we go. So that's GU. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. We're doing a little different. We're literally doing top-down analysis with you guys, so we can start nailing these swing trades because that's what we all want. Because we're all sick of gold. So let's start over here. Let's get all this crap off here. Look at all these lines. Even a little one right there. All right, start on our weekly chart. Well, I already don't like it. Why do I not like it? Well, look where we are and look how much consolidation that is. No thanks. GN, same thing. Delete everything here. What do we see? GN is bullish. No, GN is bullish on the weekly, 4 hour, or daily. We are bearish. 4 hour, we are bearish as well. We close that one right there. Got stop lost on that one. Actually, this wasn't our trade. We can take that. All right, let's start over here. Actually, weekly is bullish. Daily is bullish as well. Daily is bullish as well. 4 hour is bearish. So we got two bullish. Oh God, we're at our all-time highs, aren't we? Oh, never mind. Never mind. There's really nothing here. There's no structure. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Nothing to play it off of here. Here's a, we could play this daily zone here. I don't know. All right, let's start from the beginning though. Let's get here. Higher high. Two time frames in sync, daily, weekly and daily. Anything good? And I don't even see a daily zone that I like or a weekly zone that I like. So we're gonna go to the daily chart here. And like I said, we got that daily zone here. How many pips is that? It's 100 pips. That's freaking ginormous. We don't want that to be that big. So we can do that. But I want it to be like that. How many pips is that? That's still 50 pips. That's crazy. I don't like this one. I don't even know why I'm looking at it. 4 hours, there's zones in there. I don't want to break it all the way down if I don't want to trade it. It's just one of these pairs that I just don't really want to. Like, is it gonna push up again and repeat what we had in October there? As you can see, we took sells off of it here in August when we were at this level before. So, so it's like rejection, rejection, rejection. Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with this. I don't even want to break it down. All right, Euro NZD, same thing here. Let's break it down. Get rid of all this crap. Weekly. Weekly is currently bullish. Weekly is bullish. Daily is bearish. Is that higher high, higher low? Yeah, we're just gonna count that as one higher high and higher low. Daily is bullish. 4 hour is bearish. Let's get rid of that. We didn't take that trade. This one, I don't know if you guys remember this trade, but we got smoked on this trade. All right, let's do it from the top down. Is there any zones? Any zones? One right here. There's that weekly right there. And another one here. Let's see. I'm thinking one. I don't know. We can make and do one of those. No, make it pinch it, make it kind of big. Do you like that though? That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. It's huge. 80 pips. How big is this one? 60, 54 or 60. Tighten her up just a little bit so we don't have to, so we don't count that one in, even though we should. We can tuck it down too, like so, and really pinch her off tight. Yeah, I like that. Daily, do the same thing here. There's zones here. Yeah, it's right. That's our weekly zone though, so we don't want to put, well, one, two, three. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. See that. Yeah, it looks good. All right, so what do we say this was? Weekly bullish, daily bullish, and 4 hour is currently bearish, right? Yep. So let's write this down on our daily chart here. Do our box. Do our box. Whatever. Make it blue. Get our text. One. Weekly bull. Daily bull. 4 hour bear. Equaling 20%. Oh, not 20%, 20% to touch it. Okay, so what's that? Add an area of interest or rejecting an area of interest. Well, we got a reject weekly rejection, weekly AOI rejection, which is 10%. Yeah, good on our daily. We have it at our daily area of interest at daily AOI, which is equal to 10%. Four is what? EMAs. Our two is touching our. Oh, well, do we have a 4 hour area of interest? No, because we're in a daily area of interest. And if you wanted to put, you could put a 4 hour area of interest because we are in one. One, two, three, four, five. There's five touches there. So if you wanted to put a daily or a 4 hour area of interest there, you could. Number two, touching EMA. Weekly, do we have a touching or rejection? No. Daily, we are touching the EMA. So let's write that down. Daily touching EMA, which is equal to 10%. 5. Do we want to even look at the 4 hour? 4 hour is not, because, but you also got to keep in mind that our 4 hour is against the trend currently. Candlestick rejection. Do we have a candlestick rejection? I would say that's a candlestick rejection on our weekly. That's a candlestick rejection from our weekly area of interest. You know, daily, do we have a candlestick rejection? And I wouldn't say that's a candlestick rejection just because it's inside of our zone. So we do have a weekly candlestick rejection, which is also rejection from an area of interest. So do we want to add that? I'm not gonna. Can rejection from previous structure point? Well, higher high. Well, let's just do the snake. Weekly, boom. 1, 2. Have we rejected that? No, we haven't. We're actually below it. Daily, same thing. They said if you want to start down here, you can. So let's go 1. Well, 1, 2. This one's kind of tricky. It depends on how you look at it because it literally just dumped it up. But this is the one. This is a whole day. So here's your head. Here's your first corner. Here's your second corner. So no candlestick rejection on the daily, or not rejection, rejection for previous structure point. Next step, round psychological level. Is there a round psychological level in here? Let's drop that down. Is one inside that box. Is there one inside the daily box? There is. So we do have a round psychological level. Rejection. Round psych level, which is equal to 10%. That's 5%. My bad. 6. Patterns. Is there any patterns on here? Do you see a hand? There's an inverted head and shoulders potential here, creating the right shoulder. Daily, any patterns? No patterns. 4 hour, no patterns. So, what are we waiting for? Entry signal to go long. Grade. What do we got? 20, 30, 40, 50, 55%. And remember, when it's an F trade currently, when we get the 4 hour turns bullish, and then we get our entry signal, this will be trade. This will turn into a C setup or a B setup, potentially. So we will be waiting for the shift of structure and the retest. So I'm going to set my alarm here. And on the 1 hour, that'll be above the 1 hour EMA. So that's what we're looking for. Is everything making sense? I know we're going kind of slow here, breaking everything down to the T, but I just want to make sure we are aware of what we're doing. And so, all right. GA I already don't like GA, if you want to know the truth, but we will start it. Why? Because it's hitting the same zone here. It's just, is it gonna do it a third time? Weekly is bullish. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher low. So weekly is bullish, daily is bearish, and 4 hour is also is bullish. So I just don't even want to trade this pair just because of how chaotic it is looking. Weekly bullish, daily bearish, 4 hour bullish. Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with it. EJ, we broke this one down already earlier. Not gonna go over a whole lot on this one. We're just waiting for the 4 hour to shift and go. Why? Well, we have our weekly is bullish. Our daily is bearish. Our 4 hour is bearish. We're waiting for the 4 hour to shift to go to the upside. You already know that I absolutely hate my JPY pairs. I don't even know why I trade them. We have an inverted head and shoulders here. I probably will not be paying attention to this pair just because it's the JPYs and we need it to come all the way up here before anything. So this pair is just kind of on the way, junk watching. Same thing with this one, CAD JPY. All the JPY pairs are the exact same, so I'm not gonna go over that. GJ, it's not as clean. Don't need NJ. Waiting for the push for the daily to go bullish or get above the weekly and daily area of interest. Like I said, I won't be paying attention. These trades are not going to be anytime soon. I will be waiting until it's all the way up here and we will go over them. We will go over those throughout the week if we do decide to trade the JPY pairs. So we're just going to throw this down here as well. All right, AUD USD. Weekly is bearish. Daily is. So we must have had look at these crazy candles. Like these candles just kind of throw everything off. Up, down, up, down. That's what news does to you. So don't care. GCHF. Look at how much consolidation that is. We finally broke. So if it comes back and retest, we'll go over it. But right now, don't care. USD CAD. Let's go over it. I obviously have an alarm set from last week that was never triggered. Let's go to our weekly. Actually, I don't like this just because it's at the highest point it's been in how long? No thanks. Euro USD. I already had the retest and neckline dump. It's at the lowest point. Weekly's bearish. Get out of all this junk here. Daily is bearish. 4 hour is bearish. There's just nothing. Like I said, there's nothing. It's gonna have to retest before anything for anything on this. Yeah, gotta see some sort of retest. So as for now, not interested. Euro CAD. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 weeks. Up, down, up, down, up, down. 15 weeks of nothing. No, thank you. Okay, so our top pairs for the week are Euro CHF. Here is our confluences. This is a trade, and we're waiting on entry signal to take short. USD CHF. Here is our confluences. Let's get this actually smaller because that should be way up here. Let's get it by our trade actually. Don't need this to be so big. So big. Go to our daily chart. Make it fit in the box here. Here is our daily chart on USD CHF. This is C plus trade. Here's our confluences. This is USD JPY. This is 70% trade to go long. GU is a 60% trade to go for short. So let's get this down here next to our trade idea. And Euro NZD is currently an F trade, high risk. Is it even worth it trade to go long? What would that look like? You got obviously end structure to the top here. That's what that would look like. All right, guys, I will send these into the Telegram, or not Telegram, the Discord for the week. And then we will be doing, starting tomorrow morning, we will be popping on a call to do a morning breakdown of what our pairs are looking at pre New York session. I haven't quite decided what time works best yet. I'll send a poll in the Discord. But for now, that's all I have for you guys. If you have any questions, please ask them now. Like I said, our top pairs are Euro CHF, USD CHF, USD JPY, GU, and Euro NZD. Those are my top pairs for the week. We are keeping an eye on Euro JPY, CAD JPY, NZD JPY, and AUD NZD. We are just watching them. We don't really like our JPY pairs, but if they do come into play, I will pop on a call and we can go over them. Other than that, anything else, please ask